Hello dear viewer, dear listener, my name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Today we're having a number of firsts. This is the first time we're shooting from our restaurant Black, which stands for Bistro, Lounge and Cocktail Kitchen. And also, it's the first time we have a guest, a repeat guest. We have Mr. Denford Paradza, who is an insurance expert. Welcome to the temporary studio we have here at Black.
Thank you for having me.
After your first appearance on this show, there was so much interest. People want to know more about insurance. They want to know how insurance impacts the community. In fact, today's subject speaks to that, because we're going to talk about how insurance impacts an economy. Specifically, our subject for today is the importance of the insurance industry in driving the economic development of the country and entrepreneurship in general. So I have 10 nuggets of wisdom for you to deal with that subject. But before I do, can you just talk to our listeners and to our audience and tell them who you are and what your skill set is?
Thank you for having me for the second time in as many weeks. It's a pleasure and I'm honored.
In as many months, not quite weeks.
Yeah. My name is, like you said, I'm Denford Paradza. I'm the managing director for Red Hill Risk Solutions. I will provide insurance broking services, short-term and life insurance. And I'm quite pleased that I'm here again to at least delve into the aspect of insurance. It's quite a grey area that people don't have much knowledge about. So I think this platform is doing quite well to at least impart the knowledge.
The first point is how insurance provides safety and security in the economy in general. Can you speak to that and explain to a novice, by that I mean a first-time entrepreneur who thinks insurance is a rip-off, which is the normal thinking about insurance, that there's a big rip-off industry. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yeah. No, it's actually a story for every day. You see, insurance is very important because you are basically protecting your assets against any eventuality. Because you find that if you have a vehicle, you have a property, you have a house, there are risks that can happen anytime. There can be fire, there can be a hail, a storm. So you find that if you have insurance, you are protecting what you have from any eventuality. And also you'll find that not only in terms of assets, we are also talking about in terms of human capital. You are protecting, if you insure an employee, you are protecting your asset. I was going through the recent budget. The minister, emphasized the importance of moving from the resource-based economy to a human information to a human resource-based economy. So I think it's also very important for entrepreneurs or employees to treat their employees as assets.
You actually talk of it reducing uncertainties in business and human life.
Yes. Because we're saying if your employees, like you, Mr. Mogobe, I know you probably have plus or minus 100 employees.
170 on the last check.
Yeah, 170. Yes. You are if you insure them, for example, life policies for them, funeral policies, you are protecting talent. You are making sure that your employees, you are keeping them, you are retaining them. And as a result, you are also contributing to the vision of the economy, the vision of the country that we have now.
Well, you've been in the industry how long? Just remind those who are watching for the first time.
I've been in the insurance industry for the past 10 years.
Okay.
Yes.
When you say it generates financial resources for investment,
yes,
what do you mean by that? How does it generate financial resources for investment?
Basically, we are saying that insurance companies, when they accumulate premiums that people are paying on a regular basis, they build an asset base. That asset base can be used, insurers can invest in bonds, they can invest in stocks, they can invest in treasury bills.
Actually, I read somewhere where it said Warren Buffett uses his insurance from Geico
Yes.
as rocket fuel.
Yes.
That he uses it to buy. In fact, there was a point that he was saying he was more of an insurance man than an investor.
Yes. You'll be amazed here in Botswana when I checked statistics from 2019. The assets that are controlled by insurance companies, they are plus or minus 221 billion in Botswana.
That's huge.
So you see the influence that insurance business plays. So
these are assets arising from the premiums,
Yes.
which are not claimed, which are just piling up there.
Yes, because remember, insurance, we're saying insurance companies are pooling risks. They pull risk into a pool, and the insured are not going to claim at the same time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you find that, let's say you've got 100 clients, maybe 10 will claim in a year. So you're accumulating everything.
Okay. And then, of course, it stimulates the economy. That's one thing you say. You talk of millions of pula which are distributed through policy benefits. Can you speak to that a bit?
That one, basically we're saying that, if there are people who have policies, there are payouts. Each and every time, for example, you have investment policy. That policy, let's say it is matured after 10 or 15 years, you are going to draw money. That money is going to act as an injection into the economy. I can give you, for example, here in Botswana, we've got the motor vehicle accident fund.
Yes.
You should find that
insurance.
Yeah, it's a form of insurance, though it's a form of
state-funded
insurance.
Yeah.
Yes. So every now and then, people are getting payouts, and that money is injected into the economy. Yes.
That's very interesting. Then, this one I didn't quite understand, which you can help me enlighten me. You said it promotes export-led growth in terms of the latest budget. I'm not sure how that works exactly.
Yeah. If you went through the budget, or the viewers have gone through it, there is a portion where they're talking about the pillars of the economy. One of the most important pillars is the export strategy and import and placement strategy. Just because our deficit is widening on a regular basis, so you find that the minister was trying to address to say, let's reduce the deficit by promoting an export-led economy. So you find that in insurance, for example, we've got export credit insurance. That you basically a business or an entrepreneur who wants to do business internationally, who is selling a product across the border, can get that form of insurance to cover himself in case of a default, for example, in payments. Because these things, they happen at times. You'll find that...
Say you want to bring stock from China. I'm not going to talk about the current corona, but I mean from a distant place such as China. You want to ensure that those goods arrive here, and if they don't, there is an insurance that will cover that.
No. Let me give you an example. Like here in Botswana, we've got quite a number of manufacturers of stationery. They want to export to Zimbabwe, for example. We want to promote them to export to Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So
you're doing export, not import. I was thinking import.
Because our view is to substitute the import element.
Yes.
We want to reduce our receipts on the import.
Yes.
So to encourage those people to export to Zimbabwe, they can get export credit insurance cover, which covers them in the event that their customers default. It means that they still have a place to lean on. They can go to the insurance company and say, no, look, this is my customer. I've been supplying for a year. He has defaulted to pay for 6 months.
Is it all insurance companies that offer this, the big ones? Or is it something that is unique to...
In Botswana, we've got a state-owned company called Becky.
Yeah.
That is Botswana Export Credit Insurance. I was also when I was going through the budget, I think I have a bias because obviously Dr. Matseka has worked in the insurance industry. And I think I was quite impressed.
Yes.
There is a point where he's saying that they are working into increasing the scope of products that Becky offers. to people who want to engage in export related business, which is quite a good thing.
All right, let's move to the next nugget, which is the insurance company or the insurance industry is an important partner in social policy.
Yes.
How do you mean by that?
Basically, you see, we are saying that if people are injured, they can go to insurance company and claim. If there is a disaster, for example, they can go to the insurance company and claim. They are contributing to the social being. For example, I can give you an example of the MVA fund we referred to. It's doing a very good job. Why? Because if there is an accident, you don't have to.
Talk is that it's very difficult for the average man to claim significant amounts. They've limited, for instance, the claims that can be made.
Yeah, you see, because it's a parastatal, there are a lot of limitations in terms of the capacity. That's why we're saying, I think Botswana have to realize that it's very important to approach insurance company and get a policy to cover yourself in the event of personal accident, for example. Because yes, the government can only do as much.
So you cannot rely entirely on government.
Yes.
I like this one about capital infusion, that it's a form of that insurance companies are capital infusers.
Yes.
Explain that.
You see, basically we're saying if you buy an insurance policy or a contract, you are going to just pay a small portion for a cover, for a risk. And as a result, it reduces they usually say they're saving for rainy days. You don't have to save money to say in the event that my car has an accident, I'm going to use this money to repair my car. Instead you are paying, let's say, 500 a month. If an accident happens, insurance takes care of the claim. Then you can free that money, use that money now. You put the money, you invest in the businesses, you put the money in the economy. And then it has a multiplier effect because that money goes into the economy. Because you see, personal savings in macroeconomics, personal savings, they act as leakages. It's a leakage into the system.
Yes.
Because if Mr. Mogobe is saving, let's say 5,000 a month at home or in the bank, that money for it to be used, a banker has to lend it to someone, which might take time. But now in this case, we are saying instead of Mr. Mogobe saving that money for rainy days, he's simply buying insurance policy.
And it's interesting, like you call it leakages,
Yes.
Leakages imply loss.
No. It's not a loss per se, because you see, macroeconomics. There is it's like a flow chart. There are injections, there are leakages. It will be a leakage for a period of time because we are simply keeping the money at home, for example.
Yes.
No one is using that money. But at least if you
Flying idle.
Yeah. So in economics they say there's an opportunity cost for keeping money at home. It's a bit higher. Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Innovation catalyst for entrepreneurs. Let's talk specifically about how insurance helps in terms of innovation and how it can help an entrepreneur, especially startups, especially SMMEs.
You see, Mr. Mogobe, there's a term called industrial revolution. I think now they say we are in the fourth industrial revolution.
Yes, 4IR, yeah.
From the first one, the first industrial revolution, insurance has always been a pillar for support for innovators. Why? Because you give people who want to innovate the chance or the freedom to explore. They can explore because they know they have an insurance company.
They have
backup. So you see, like today in the fourth industrial revolution, if a Botswana comes up with an exciting idea, you can approach an insurance company and say, this is what I want to do. It's something new. You see, now insurance companies, just because of technology, they are able to, even risks that are new, they are models, they are computer-based models and systems, which can give you a probability, even if it's a new risk, to say the probability that a risk will run is ABCD. So as a result, all these new risks that come as a result of innovation, as is out of technology. At the moment, insurance companies are keeping up.
Does this imply that a lot of these insurance companies have experts and statisticians who work out these models?
Yes. Yes, you see, that's where the importance of reinsurance comes now. Usually, reinsurers over and above providing capacity and insurance to insurance companies, they also employ experts. They can be agronomists, they can be economists, they can be statisticians, they can be even computer scientists. They've got the capacity to employ those kind of people to say if there's a risk that is peculiar or is new, those guys are simply employed. Then they come up with something.
All right, I want us to talk about credit facilitators for entrepreneurs and individuals. Credit facilitators, are you saying over and above what the banks do?
I think basically from my research, that's the only reason why most of us want to insure. They insure why? Because the bank says if you don't insure your car, we cannot give you a loan. If you don't insure your house, we cannot give you a mortgage. Which for me
it's a prerequisite.
It's a prerequisite. Which for me it's not a good scenario because it's like we are only insuring the compulsory aspect. I can give you a very good example. 99% of cars here in Botswana, they don't have insurance.
At all?
At all.
You mean the ones that are called Japanese cars, so-called, the ones that are brought in?
You see, the trend,
so-called grey cars.
Even local cars, the trend is if your car is owing the bank, let's say you get a car loan for 5 years. You see, the trend is the day your loan is done, you call a broker and say, I'm not renewing my policy.
What can you guys do in the industry to change that scenario? What are you doing to conscientize people and to make them aware of the importance of staying insured, even after the loan is paid off?
You see, as the private sector, we can only do as much, But I think in this aspect, it would be also very important for our government or the powers that be to also intervene. For example, any vehicle that is traveling, that is on the road, should have at least full third-party insurance. Because it goes to the first point that we discussed of protecting assets.
Isn't there a law about that?
No. What we have now is the MVA. MVA fund only covers for injuries. It doesn't cover for...
So is it my understanding that you, Mr. Paradza, are proposing a legislative innovation or legislative amendment to make insurance compulsory?
Yes. When I was going through the budget, I was hoping to come across that kind of scenario, because you see, there are a lot of people who are losing their assets because a Honda Fit can hit a Range Rover for 1 million, and that person for the Range Rover was not at fault. And then when he tries to claim, this guy doesn't have insurance, and then
he sues him, and it ends up with civil imprisonment, and nothing is recovered.
Nothing is recovered. So at least if someone has full third party, you're rest assured, at least even if your car is not insured, at least the other part that you have wronged is what?
Why don't you get together as insurers and people in the industry and motivate that and lobby the minister? I know that in Botswana people don't think in terms of lobbying, but isn't that something we should be thinking about?
I think that's the way to go now. I don't think the insurance industry also hasn't done much in terms of lobbying. We talk about it in the industry circles, but I've been doing my research. I haven't seen anywhere where...
Maybe here's a chance for you to be an innovator, do something. Let's talk about insurance enabling infrastructure improvements or infrastructural development in general. How does that come into the picture?
Yeah, basically projects have to be insured against various myriad types of risks. So you see, if you are having a construction project, you need contractors for risk, for example. You need to make sure that your employees are covered. You need to make sure that you've got liability insurance that is in place. So those policies or those types of policies, they support the vision for infrastructure development. Because you know that let's say for example there is a I'll give an example of a bridge that is being constructed, and then
there are quite a few bridges up north by the border.
So
the Embo Bridge, and there's one other.
Those structural engineers, they know they need professional indemnity insurance.
They probably have it.
Yes, it's a requirement. So they'll always have it to make sure that if there is any form of structural failure, they are also covered and they're also catered for it.
Okay, you say that insurance encourages savings. Is that savings for companies or for individuals?
Yeah, basically both. Because you see, there are a number of interesting policies that individuals can have. You can save for school fees for your children, for example. You see, so that the day your child.
How does that work in practical terms? How does it work?
Basically, instead of you taking the money to the bank, that money you can pay as premium to insurance company, and you find that the interest returns they are quite better than the ones from the bank. Just that people don't know. So that policy,
our current interest rates are very, very low. So the ones you are talking about are
they are very low at the bank, but the ones from an insurance point of view, they'll be better. And you say,
let's be practical. I mean, I'm saying I think fixed deposit is probably 3% at most. In most banks, even if it's 6 months or beyond. So how much could it be at insurance company?
You see, the good thing with I cannot give you a specific rate, but the ones for insurance, they depend on the performance of the markets. So when the markets are performing very well, you can have even as high as 5
So they take this money and take it to the market.
Yes.
Isn't there a risk of losing it as well?
No. What happens is
they guarantee
in individual. Usually they invest this in portfolios that are less risky. Because you remember there are stocks that are risky, high risk. There are stocks that there are also instruments that are less risky. So the insurance company will give you a scenario to say, possibly after 20 years, this is what you might have in your fund. Then when your child has to go to an expensive university school, for example, then instead of digging deep into your pocket, you're simply using investment policy that you have.
Wow. But is that insured? I mean, do they make sure they guard against losses for?
Yes. Yeah, because like I said, they employ quite experienced investment analysts and stuff to make sure that they also protect the funds for the insuring public.
That's been very illuminating. Thank you for educating me. But as usual, dear viewer, dear listener, I always want my guest to throw a bonus. So bonus is point number 11. Insurance contributes to the growth of our gross domestic product. How does that work in real terms?
Yeah, basically,
GDP.
When you're talking about gross domestic product, we're talking about the economy, how the economy is performing. So you find that when people are taking policies, they are contributing to the economy. Why? Because that money is going to be invested by insurance companies back into the economy. Remember, I indicated the issue of injections. So you find that I think in Botswana, it's quite sad that in terms of insuring assets or short-term insurance, there's something we call penetration ratio. Saying,
you have to break that down and use normal English.
Yes, penetration ratio is simply saying the relationship between the insurance premiums per annum and the gross domestic product. So you find that here in Botswana, I think, when I was checking the figures for 2019, I think penetration ratio or a portion of the GDP that's going to the insurance is around 3 to 4%,
which is small,
which is very small. And in that
and what is it in developed economies or so-called developed economies?
It can go as high as 10, 15, like in the UK. So you find that in that 3 to 4%, plus or minus 3% is for life insurance. Life insurance is quite a big chunk
in Botswana. More so than other places, or that is normal?
I think it's usually it's always like that, but with other countries the gap is not that big. Because here we're talking of the other 0.7% is for insuring cars, insuring buildings, insuring. So I think there is a knowledge gap. I think Botswana
I think shows like this will help conscientize people, which is why I want Mr. Paradza to come at least once every month, if not every other month, to make sure that you communicate these concepts and these ideas to people.
Because you see, the point of securing your asset is very important. I think we've done well in terms of securing our lives in Botswana, but in terms of securing your vehicle that you own, your house, you know, people, when we talk to customers or potential customers, I tell someone, if you have a house for 1 million, you can pay as little as 1.5 per month per year. So people get shocked. Only that,
and you can divide that over 12 months.
Yeah, you
or
can
even pay in installment.
Yes. So you find that it's very affordable to insure your house, even if it doesn't have a mortgage. You remember there is a year or two years back there was an earthquake here?
Yes, there was.
A lot of households were affected.
Yeah.
And that is an insurable risk. And so instead of locals now burdening the government, I know there is a fund, disaster something
fund, yes.
Instead of the Botswana burdening the state, they can also take it upon themselves to just make sure that their assets are insured.
As we conclude our time together, can you tell the listener, the viewer, how they can get in touch with you?
Yes. You can get in touch with us. Our office is in Commerce Park. It's plot 163/4, unit 23. And we now have our Facebook page, which is Radio Risk Solutions. And you can get us on email. It's info@radio.co.pw. If you want more information about our products, you can go to our Facebook page. Then probably you can have an interactive session. Then we can take it from there. We are there to assist. We are there. We have taken it upon ourselves to just offer free, risk management insurance advice to people who might be interested about knowing how insurance works, so that at least we kind of increase the knowledge to the viewers and listeners. But at least maybe 3 years from now, that penetration ratio we're talking about
would have gone up.
Yeah.
Let's also conclude by what we normally do, shamelessly promoting the channel. Ask people to subscribe.
No, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom. They are on YouTube, they are on Facebook, they are on Instagram. I keep talking about Twitter, but you told me that you're not yet there.
Not yet on Twitter, but it's under Mompoloki.
Okay.
On most of these platforms.
All right.
Thank you very much, dear listener, dear viewer. It's been a privilege to come to you. Thank you. Until next time.